want to be a rock star. Well, you got to start somewhere, and if you maybe just got your first drum set for Christmas, or maybe you got yourself a pad, something like that, you're just getting started, maybe you're just maybe middle school age, a little younger than that, you found the right place. This is the world's okayest drummer, and I want to start off with some instructional videos that take you from the very beginning, as in how do I hold this thing right here, and take you all the way through playing the drum set and some fundamental stuff. So let's get started. We're going to start today. Basically, we're going to be playing on a pad. And what I want to talk to you about is how to hold the stick, your posture, your hand position, some different things like that. And I want to start off on some very basic exercises. I mean, we're starting from ground zero. So what we want to do is we want to talk about first, I think, the drumstick. And that is, I want you to kind of think about it and split it into three parts. We have the tip right here that strikes the drum. We have what's called the taper, the area that gets skinnier down toward the tip. We have the body of the drumstick. What I want you to do is I want you to think if you could split it kind of evenly into three halves. Okay? I want you to take and I want you to put your thumb where that bottom half is. Now notice that leaves some sticking out right here. That's important. I notice a lot of young players with this guy going on, and it's really hard to get started. So you always want, maybe on that bottom third, I recommend some balanced drumsticks, some drumsticks that are matched. Vic Firth, Pro Mark, something like that. Usually on the Vic Firth drumstick, somewhere about the third of the drumstick is going to be the American flag and that last H right there. So you'll just you got to get your thumb right there. Something that's really important in terms of the grip and how to hold the drumstick is we want to balance or look at our finger, and you see that it's split into three digits, 1, 2, 3. We want our thumb to press against the drumstick on that third digit, just like that. Cool? This is something that you want to try to avoid if at all possible, and that is letting the finger kind of slide off of the drumstick while you play, right? We want to keep it firmly on the stick always, right? No? Yes. Now, if you're just at school and you're picking up a pencil, when you have the pencil, say, sitting on a flat surface, and you pick it up, just when you pick it up, that's your good grip for the drumstick. You usually have it right in that place, and you can kind of take your finger and move it like this. Notice I'm not moving my wrist necessarily. I'm moving fingers only and just kind of rolling my thumb back and forth, moving my fingers and rolling that slightly over this forefinger right here, right? And that's just a push and pull of my thumb. Sometimes that's a little difficult to get your mind wrapped around. It's more difficult than it looks. Also, just go ahead and know that from the very beginning, we're all right-handed or left-handed, and some of these things are going to be really easy for your dominant hand if you're right-handed, and they're going to be really difficult usually for your weaker hand. But the object of the game when you're drumming is you want to try to, as best you can, make it feel the right hand is usually going to be comfortable for right-handers. Left hand is uncomfortable, but the object of the game, through repetition, through just simply playing a lot, you want to kind of try to make both hands feel the same when you play. So that's kind of how to hold the drumstick. Now, I haven't talked really about these three fingers right here, and they work together, and I'm going to get you just in the very beginning to just kind of hold on, and we're going to squeeze with just a little bit of pressure, not too much and not too little that the stick falls out, but I want you just to kind of squeeze. Most of the pressure comes from right here, and then sometimes we're going to squeeze and lock. Basically, these two guys work together a lot. He just kind of dangles sometimes, but right here, okay? So, what I want you to practice, and I'm going to get some other drumsticks. I highly recommend a pair of these. They're called 5B Chop Outs by Vic Firth. They have this kind of rubber tip, and they are great because you can beat on the countertops in your kitchen. Your mom's not going to yell at you. They're great. Speaking of which, when you play, I want you to make sure that everything you're playing is at your belt level if you're standing, or lower, so that you're not playing like this up, but you're playing down and relaxed, and that your forearms are pointing down to the drum. Right? So, when we play, we're going to either use, for right now, we're going to use one of three strokes. The first stroke is going to be what we call a downstroke, where you strike the drum. And what I really like to try to do is play into the drum and actually act like I'm trying to play through the drum. Downstroke, downstroke. And also notice this. This is what it's not. I'm not leaving the bead on the pad. I'm letting it rebound, one solo hit, but what I'm doing at the very end is I'm kind of squeezing it and trying to freeze it right there over the drum. That's really great exercise to do, and it is much harder than you think. All right? Everything you try, you want to try with both hands. Cool? Just a good stroke. That's called a downstroke. It's got a little power to it. It's got a little pop in it, right? And so the next stroke that I want to try to teach you is just what I call a rebound stroke. And that's what we're going to do, is we're just going to kind of hold it a little bit more loosely and allow the stick to bounce off of the head when it hits. You can practice by doing this. Now, there's a fine line between having it in your hand so loosely that when you hit it, it falls all over the place and falls out of your hand. You still want to maintain some pressure right here, but these three fingers and the palm of your hand are going to kind of get out of the way. So what you're allowing that stick to do is rebound, is to bounce up, bounce up, bounce up. Left hand. That'll be really important to us later. We're going to use that in a lot of different things, and that's going to kind of become one of the foundational things of how we play. The last stroke I want to try to teach you today is just what I call a dead stroke, and it's just going to be one of those where we leave it in the drum. Leave it, leave it. Now, I want to make one little change to that. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to press into the drum, squeezing some pressure, and while you're pressing, watch my wrist as it kind of rolls forward and pushes down into the drum. And what it does is it stops it from vibrating like this. Go for that sound. It's at the end of the stroke, you're kind of pushing into the drum a little bit, slightly. Okay? So, it's called a buzz stroke or a dead stroke, and it's where our buzz roll comes from, right? So, on our first stroke, what I want to learn is just a basic exercise, and it's called 8 on a hand. And what I want to do is I want to first count everything, and I'm a big believer in if you can't count it, and if you can't speak it, even if you're going something like that, even with your mouth kind of beatboxing, if you can't do that, you probably can't play it. So, what I want you to do is I want you to think we're just going to count to 8. We're going to count to 8 4 times like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1. Now, notice that I'm not going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like a legato, like this smooth thing. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like a metronome, right? So, just to slow that down a little bit, you're going to speak while you play. I'm also a firm believer that if you can't speak and count and mouth the syllables that you're counting while you're playing, you stand a exponential chance of getting things wrong. On the reverse side, if you're speaking while you're playing, you stand a super high chance of getting it right, and I have seen it proved a million times over. I've taught thousands of students how to play the drums over the years as a high school band director and percussion teacher, and it's almost universal. If you don't speak it, usually you are going to get off somewhere. If you're not thinking it and mouthing it and doing some kind of thing in your head, subdividing the beat, you're not going to be able to play it. So I highly recommend, and it's one of those kind of things that I think students often take it for granted, or they're a little bit embarrassed to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 while they're playing. And because of that, they end up being weak musicians with weak time, and they usually give it up after a little while, quite frankly. So we're going to keep the tempo nice and slow. Keep it on my hats right here. And we're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stop. One last release. So now we're going to try to chew gum and walk at the same time. We're going to try to play the stroke with just a nice relaxed stroke with a good grip. We're all at this point I want all fingers staying on the stick, right? We're going to play 8 on a hand, 8 on the right hand, 8 on the left hand, 8 on the right hand, 8 on the left hand, and stop. It's called 8 on a hand. Here we go. And 1 and 2 and ready and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool? Now, it may seem super easy, but make sure that you're counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool, let's do that 2 more times. And 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, I'm using a downstroke right here. I'm actually hitting the drum, and if you want to really scramble your brain, and you're this is so easy to you that you're just about to fall asleep, then here's what I want you to concentrate on. Don't concentrate on the hand that's playing the 8 strokes, but concentrate on the other hand and making sure that it's pointing just over the head of the drum, pointing where the other one is playing, like this. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then when you switch, the other one points. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, I'm telling you, that looks easy, but it is mega hard. Because what we do, our hands like to wander off because we're concentrating on this one, and it just causes all kinds of problems. So just go ahead and go slow enough, and this is a cardinal thing. Always go slow enough to play an exercise correctly and perfectly. If you can't do it at that tempo, slow it down until you can. Don't let your ego let you be a bad musician. And sometimes we want to play it, and we may hear our buddy or somebody else playing it really quickly, and we're trying to play it like we think we hear it. Toast. Start with the basics, go slow, and take your time. Here's another thing I want to do. And this is something that I recommend you do, and you can do it at home with whatever music you've got. Just got my little iPad here. I'm dialing it up. And I'm going to put on a song. And I am just going to play time, my 8 on a hand exercise to the song. And play. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just keep on going. You're thinking in your head. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. Now, there are several reasons why it's important to practice with music. Number one is it's kind of a built-in metronome, or something thereabouts. If it's played to a click, then you've got a built-in solid metronome. If not, what you're doing is you're having to adjust slightly every time you play to kind of stick with the recording, and that's really good. And also, you're going to be more into it if it's a tune that you choose that you like. So if it's something, a video game, a cartoon, a commercial, some kind of song that you like, and what you're going to find yourself doing is you're going to quickly get bored with going. However, I want you to stay there and do that until you can almost zone out and forget everything and still stay in time with the song. So you can think about lunch, homework, all that kind of stuff, and you're still going to stay right locked in with the song. Because what you want to do is you want that to become subconscious. You want it to kind of move back into the background where you've got it, you've mastered it, you know what it feels like to do it correctly, you know what it feels like to do it in time, and then you can just kind of back out from it. So, I recommend that you do this and play it for a long time, and what you're eventually going to start to do is you're going to get a little bit bored with stuff like this, and you're going to start listening to the drummer and playing what you think the drummer's playing, and that's great. Cool? 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 8. Try to stay with the time. Do this all day. Cool. So, good old Angus. So, that's a great starting point. How to hold the stick. And just to kind of review, we want to think about when we play, always, you're subdividing in your head. You're subdividing in your head until you can do it in your sleep. You're subdividing in your head until you get such a good sense of time that you can roll that into the background and focus on something else. And it takes a while to do that. So practice subdividing, practice just counting. And this is another really good thing too. I teach a little guy, and I asked him this past week to come up with his own beat. I want you to come up with your own beat. And he came back into the lesson, and he did something like boom, bap, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, bap, bap. Now, I didn't teach him any boom or bap. I tend to play like this. I tend to try to beatbox and do stuff that way, but that was the way this guy did it. And I'm telling you, when he was playing boom, bap, I asked him, what does boom sound like? He's like, bass drum. Oh, okay. Right? And so suddenly he went from not being able to play really much of anything at all to and from there we went into right? So, practice those 8 on a hand. Make sure that grip is looking good and that finger position is good. I didn't talk about this. So we've got our shoulders that we're playing. We've got our elbows. We've got our wrists. And we've got our fingers, right? Those are kind of the 4 elements. We're going to primarily focus on fingers and wrists. We're going to let this other stuff work itself out in the mix, right? Have fun. We'll see you next time. And Soli Deo Gloria. If you don't know what that means, look it up.